You are listening to GHP Radio, powered by iTrackRadio.com, your independent music source. Fresh, new music, right here on the all-new GHP Radio, your new independent music source.
you to lift me up. Oh boy, you fill my cup. See, you came along and you lent a hand. You're more than my friend. See, you understand. I never thought I'd be here before. With love so pure, couldn't ask for more. It's not a dream, I opened my eyes. I saw you. You are my love. You are my light. You are the thing that makes everything alright. You came along when I needed you. I adore you. Yes, I love you. I never thought I'd be here before. With love so pure, couldn't ask for more. It's not a dream, I opened my eyes. I saw you. I never thought I'd be here before. With love so pure, couldn't ask for more. It's not a dream, I opened my eyes. I saw you. I saw you. I saw you. I saw you. Hey, oh, oh, I was made to be different, like a star shining in the sky. I am one in a million, the apple of his eye. If I choose to wear my hair natural, in a curl, pin it up, or wear a flow, what's that to you? Twist it out, roll it up, or wear it long, braid it down, straighten it out with a flattening comb. What's that to you? That's what he wants. I was born to stand out from the crowd. Don't you bother me. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. Free to be me. I was born for this moment. A design set just for me. I'm strategically planted to fulfill my destiny. If I choose to wear purple, green, or gray, or white when it's not a sunny day, what's that to you? And I choose to drive a fancy car, or an old one I pray will get me far, what's that to you? That's what he wants, what he wants. I was born to stand out from the crowd. Don't you bother me. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. Free to be me. Free to be me. just a while. Just a little while. 'Cause your energy is open. I love your smile. Smile. We've been vibing for some time now, baby. I can see what's on your mind. I can see it, baby. And I know you wanna feel my body. Let's just take a little time, little time. You wanna get closer, but it's too soon for me to give it up. Oh, babe, I love it when you take time to come over, but it's too soon for me to give it up. I've been thinking about you all night, 'cause you made something come alive. And when I touch you, you get so hot. We about to lose control. Stop it right here. I don't wanna lead you on, 'cause we ain't there, but I want to. We've been vibing for some time now, baby. I can see what's on your mind. I can see it, baby. And I know you wanna feel my body. Let's just take a little time. I wanna get closer, closer, but it's too soon for me to give it up. Oh, babe, I love it when you take time to come over, but it's too soon for me to give it up. You wanna get closer, closer, but it's too soon for me to give it up. Oh, baby, I love it when you take time to come over, but it's too soon for me to give it up.
It's Touche, J. Lamont coming at you with a class. Yeah, y'all gon' feel this.
Every time I think of you, I'm so amazed for all the things that you have done for me. Yeah, I'm so glad that I found you for all my needs. Now let's make this moment we can truly see. Gonna love you all through the night, through the night, and make everything alright.
Make it alright, baby.
Gonna love you all through the night. Who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you, girl? I'm gonna love you, girl. What a drum to have when it's someone like you. Always takes me high up to the sky. Now I'm laying here holding you, feeling so free. This special night is you and me.
It's you and me.
I love you all through the night.
All through the night, baby.
And make everything alright.
What you wanna do?
Love you all through the night.
Let me know, girl.
Who's gonna love you, girl?
Me?
I'm gonna love you, girl. Oh.
On my pillow, you in a dreamer's high. Elevated from middleman up into the sky. Mileage when we roam. Vacation in island homes. Queening just like a spade, but slamming just like a game of bones. Love's a lethal weapon, and I'm aiming for your heart, body, mind, and soul. Baby, tell me what's the deepest part. What should I start, girl? You solid as a rock. Waterfall love, pray the current never stop. Cook good, eat good, curvy as can be. You my better half, baby. God cooked you up for me. Touche the greatest, better yet the legendary. Straight out the pavement, rose from the concrete, ma. Know you beautiful, clean out to your cuticle. Elevated mind nowadays, that's unusual. Hold me down through the worst, I'm giving you the best. You an asset, baby, all love, nothing less. Man, y'all told y'all wasn't ready. It's Jalen Mon and Touche, baby.
Who's gonna love you, girl?
Me?
I'm gonna love you, girl. I wanna love you all through the night.
Through the night. Day.
And make everything alright.
I hope you lace your boots, shoebox
Gonna
production.
love you all through
3RE.
the night.
3RE, baby.
Who's gonna love you, girl?
Me?
I'm gonna love you, girl.
That's it.
Who's gonna love you, girl? I'm gonna love you, girl.
We out.
Let down my guard for tonight. It's one of those nights where you've been all my life. You smell so good and you're dressed up nice. You know I'm so hooked. You got me shook, baby. You drive me crazy. You want me to chase you in the fast lane so I can get next to you. Through stormy weather and rain, you remain in my brain. To be with you, I'll do anything. I'm risky when I'm with you. Love taking chances with you. And every night and day, you're making me happy. So happy, it's satisfying. Oh baby, I missed you constantly. The same about me. Oh so crazy, but in a good way. And for you I will do anything. To you, I'm in love with you. Oh, I'll do anything. I'm into you. I'm in love with you. I'll do anything. 'Cause I'm in love with you. I'll do anything. I'm into you. I'm in love with you. I'm into you. I'm in love with you. I'll do anything. I'm into you. I'm in love with you. I'll do anything for you. 'Cause I'm in love with you. I'll do anything.
Oh, so long for this night. I pray that a star would guide you my way to share with me this special day where a ribbon's in the sky for our love. If allowed, may I touch your hand, and if pleased, may I once again, so that you too will understand. There's a ribbon in the sky for This is not a coincidence, and for more than a lucky chance. But what is that was always meant is our ribbon in the sky for our love. We can't lose. With God on our side, we'll find strength in each tear we cry. From now on, it will be you and I, and our ribbon in the sky, ribbon in the sky, a ribbon in the sky for our
Dark of night will soon be gone. Morning light will bring the dawn. When your night's as bright as day, you will know you're on your way. Turn around, you will find endless beauty of your mind. Plant the seed and watch it grow. Now is the time to let your troubles go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let it wash over you. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let your troubles wash away. By my faith, the mountain moves. Without your love, what does that prove? All the clever.
All right, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Indie Live Spot. Glad you can tune in today. We have a wonderful guest today. We're very excited about Mr. Rob Diggy's in the house, y'all. Help me welcome. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on? How's it going?
Good. Glad to have Rob on the show today. We was just sorry about our delay of coming on a little bit. We had a little technical issue over here on Joyce's side, and we got everything straightened out. So
All right.
yeah, so we're good to go. But yeah, it's great to have you on the show, Rob.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Man, you are doing some really, really wonderful things um, in this industry, man. Something that a lot of people dream of doing. I know it's some things that I've
Yeah.
always dreamed of doing. Doing some great, great production and music for film and media and stuff like that. And so it's very, very exciting to have you on here because I'm very, very interested in hearing your story as far as that goes. How you got into all of that, because that's a whole nother gamut in this industry. A lot of people don't realize there's a lot
Right.
to it, a lot of work and everything, and it's cool. I just kind of would love to know how did you get introduced to that and into that world, and where did you come out of before you went into that?
Early, like every other kid, it's like now this can play in my head, and I know it like top of my head in terms of how I'll tell everybody is that it was my family. My father sang, rest his soul. He was a great inspiration. I was wondering about my father right quick. Just let me segue. Is that if he were living, how would he adjust to me, like saying, "Pops, I need you to come over and sing some background"? Well, he was from a doo-wop group. I don't need vibrato. I need straight singing. So I wonder would he argue me on that point?
Right.
But no. Getting back to your question, being a kid, being around music all my life. My grandmother played piano. My uncles had a band. They did the music, the band thing in the house on Friday nights, the fish fry and things like that. And we would sit and watch, and just soak it all in.
Yeah.
My step grandfather, which I call my grandfather, his cousins had a band. You remember Andy Griffith show when the people would come over on Fridays and play the music and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it was in our household, And my grandfather's people all played music. They were from Alabama, Panola, things like that. And so they played, and so they would come over on the weekends as well, some weekends. And so the whole house was engulfed with music. My grandmother was really like, she ruled with an iron fist when it came to music, saying if something wasn't right, stop the music. And these guys had like a show the next day, and she's stopping them in the middle of the show saying, "You made a mistake."
Oh.
So I'm like that. I'm anal like that now. I'm not calling her anal, but I'm like that now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I'm in a production, if I'm doing any kind of production, whether it be music related or vocal related, you got to get it right. You have to be more right than I am.
Yeah.
Because this is your brand going out to the world, hopefully. And you want people to know. But yeah, she was the catalyst for me getting started early on, and then we kind of sort of picked up when my uncles and them kind of later retired from it, and we picked up the instruments, and they were like the Jackson 5. We had like a little family band,
Yeah.
They had they bought us musical instruments, and we would go out and we would literally perform. We performed for late Mayor Harold Washington before he was mayor. Our band did, and we did a park district thing. We did a few things in and around the neighborhood. Then we would perform concerts in the front yard. So that meant everybody from around the hood would come around and just watch us and all saying, "Wow, we you guys are doing it. You're going to be great. You're going to be great." Everybody hung in there, and I think the turning point was when we were getting ready to go to high school, and me getting to 8th grade, and seeing this one guy play guitar, which he was super better than I was. I played guitar. He was super better than I was, and I wanted to be just like him. So I went to the band director and asked, could I join the band? He told me no. No.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wait, he didn't actually say no. He said, you'll never play in my band. Those were exact words. I remember that.
But why? Why would he say that to a kid?
I don't, he was from, I think, Haiti or something like that. And he had this accent like Calvin, the guy from Let's Do It Again. You'll never play in my band. That's how he sounded, Wow. I'm like, what, man? How you gonna just tell me I can't play? Come on, give me at least some kind of chance. But
Right.
And it didn't happen. I told my mother, I guess I can't remember now, but I never played with the band and the little jazz ensemble at school, and I didn't have any other musical experience other than guitar. But when I got to high school, a high school that I did not want to attend, and the guy says, the counselor says, well, why don't you just stay for a semester, 4 months, and see how you like it, and then you can join the band. I'm like, I don't want to join the band. I want to be at the school because the school reminded me of Cooley High.
Oh yeah.
If you ever saw Cooley High,
Yeah.
you'll know that was like a monkey jungle,
Mhm.
I was at this high school, and I just didn't want to be at Marshall High School because they didn't want to. They didn't offer me. It was general studies at that time.
Right.
So I had a little get together last night, and I asked my friend. I said, "Well, what did you take up in high school?" He said, "Automotive," and that's probably what I would have done. I wanted a trade. I wanted a trade, and later I found out that band was my calling because I wound up playing trombone, and a couple of the guys in the neighborhood played trombone. They said, "Well, hey man, you join the band, we'll show you the ropes." So by I started school in September, October, November, December, and January. After that 4 months, that first semester was over, he wound up moving me to the advanced band as a trombone player. I was playing third chair,
Wow.
and I'll admit I was good, but I wasn't a great reader. I tell everybody that I wasn't super great on reading, but I had a great ear. My ear was my gold mine. I could hear something and pick it up just like that. And so with that said, during the time of the seniors becoming, graduating, things like that, they had this thing called the Midwest Band Clinic, and the band directors come from all over the country to interview potentials to go to their colleges. So you have all the HBCUs that would come in, Northern, Western, and anybody that had a band program. They were at the Midwest Band Conference in Chicago during the spring winter break, and so this guy O.D. Burris from University of Arkansas Pine Bluff came in and offered 4 or 5 seniors scholarships, like an 79 or 80, somewhere like that.
Okay.
And that point, then when they went, the next year he called our high school band director, Mr. Delano Bang. I got to shout him out. He's my guy. He says, Mr. Burris says, "Hey, you have any more?" He said, "Yeah, I got 5 more seniors." He said, "Send them down." Because we were that good. I'm not making it up. Marshall High School at the time for band members were super good.
Yeah.
Now there was another school on the south side called CVS, which produced a lot of great bandsmen and musicians as well. But Marshall was right there. We were rivals and everything. So the next year, you got any more? Send them down. So when my year came up, there were 7 of us, and still playing third chair. The man had never heard me play, but he wanted us to come down, gave us scholarships.
Yeah.
So my friends and I, all 3 of us, we went down, and we got the scholarships and everything. I knew once I walked across the stage knowing where I was going when I graduated, and when I got to school, you see the seniors that were there, they were about to graduate, the juniors, everybody else, we had the largest amount of out-of-state bandsmen from one school, you know, and a university at one time.
Wow.
And then it became academic. I think we had like at one time like 18, something like that. These were just band students that wanted to come to UAPB. Although I was awarded scholarships other places, Bethune-Cookman, Delaware State, Louisiana, LSU, I think it was. But I chose UAPB because all my friends were there, and I felt be at home. So it's a cool transition. So that was the start of me playing, at least, you know, understanding more about band music. Because in high school, we did a lot of jazz. You know, we did Mark, we did Ellington, we did Basie, we did all of that. So those songs still ring on my head, like April in Paris and things like that. Take the A Train. Those things still ring out, but sometimes I don't even want to touch jazz. I just like listening to R&B and some crazy rap music.
Right.
But overall, the experience at UAPB was a great one. To move things forward, I winded up getting and was inducted into the Hall of Fame at my school, HBCU, for entertainment and media entertainment at that particular school, because I was outstanding, and I know cats that were there that were super on top. I'm talking about cats that now sing with the Temptations, you know, sing with Tony Braxton and Luther and all these big cats, and here I am, I get the gold. Hello.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
They're not taking anything away from my partners, because they taught me. I mean, coming in as a freshman and seeing these older heads playing, oh my God, it was amazing to see all the cats from other cities and states and stuff like that playing as well as they did, and I just fell right in. And then I joined the band, like R&B band, like Cameo, something like that. Okay. We formed a band, and all the cats in the band went pro.
Wow.
Well, just about, you know, about 8 of us went pro, and I'm like, wow. I wound up going on the road when I got out of college with the Whispers, OJs, and the Dales for a little while, doing sound and lights.
Very cool, man.
So I got a little.
And this is right out of college, right?
Out of college. Yeah, right out of college, I met Marvin, Big Marvin. They sang with the Dales. His son was Marvin Jr. It was Junior, so that's last name. So I wound up going on the road, and he just threw me out there and said, "Hey, man, we need a sound guy." I didn't know. I majored in communications, but didn't know a lot about knobs and buttons and stuff.
Right.
But
and faders.
And faders. I was thrown into it, but I knew lighting. Yeah. Somewhat. See, at that time in the 80s, the university didn't have all of that tech savvy stuff that they have now.
Right.
We didn't have that, you know. So I had to learn on the fly, and I did, and it was a pretty cool gig. I got cursed out a couple times for not turning the sound up on the road, but I learned one thing from that, and that was the guy, after he cursed me out, the guy that was assisting me, the house manager for the sound system, because he was showing me before the show what I would have to do. And this is a console, you know, a big Yamaha or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
He says, "Let me tell you something." Now, this is, when he cursed me out, it's all over the system, because he's, you know, in the mic. and it was a Zulu ball, I'll never forget it, down in New Orleans. And he says, "Rob," he cursed me out. He cursed me out. He says, the guy that was standing next to me was like, "Let me tell you something, son." He says, "When you're on the road, they're not your friends." He said, "This is business. Don't take it personal." He says, "Now, when you come out of the gig, y'all go have a beer, talk about it, and laugh about it, pat each other on the back, and keep it moving."
Right.
And that's what the guy did. He came up to me and apologized and said, "Hey, look, man." He said, "You're not in the studio." In other words, you know, that's what he said, some choice words. He said, "You're not in the studio.
Yeah.
Get it right." And so from that, I learned that bit of information. So I use that now. So when I'm dealing with people, yeah, I'm your friend. We can kick it. We can hang out. You know, but when it's time to work,
you gotta work.
I'm a beast.
Yeah, man.
Don't bother me when I'm working. You know, I enjoy what I do, and I take it very seriously. I mean, even if somebody that's not even serious, I'll try to make them serious.
Yeah.
You know, "Hey, try it like this." "No, I want to try it this way because, you know, it's too hard." "No, just try it," you know.
Right.
And a lot of people don't like to be pushed either, so you have to leave people where they are, you know.
Well, I think it's always great to have somebody like you in the corner because you have to have tough skin. If you ask somebody to be your producer, if you ask somebody first, you ask somebody to help you because you respect their skill. And so when they tell you something, I said, no, I mean, Gary knows I had to start a project all over because the producer said that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Right.
And it makes you work harder to get it right. So I think in a way that we do have to. I mean, if you get your feelings hurt, you just get over it because in the long run, it's going to benefit. Besides, you have the I'm looking at your what is it called? IMDb. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You have a lot under your belt.
Well, see, and I appreciate that, but I wish some of those titles were like the Titanic, some of those bigger award-winning movies. But that's coming.
Oh yeah.
But you have a Grammy. You have a prestigious award. Isn't this with working with Beyonce?
That's remix. That's remix production work. And
tell us about that. And how did that come about?
Networking, being a teacher in the daytime and night and the evenings, going to the studio and staying from say 3 o'clock to 12. And that's what I did during the time that I was teaching elementary school music and art. That's what it was. You leave the studio. I mean, leave the school, your job, and just go work. And I didn't want to, and I didn't know how it worked in terms of who, because when I say who, that could have been anybody's, award. Anybody's award is just coming to work, to the studio. I call it. You in a situation where he say, "Hey man, we got Beyonce on the books today. Can you do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we lay everything out. The vocals are laid out, and once the vocals are laid out, I take a good listen. Like I said, because I trusted my ear. I take a good listen where she is chord wise. Okay, she's an A flat. I love A flat. E, I love E flat. So I said, okay, great. She's in that key. Let me play some chords around where she's singing, and it's not going to be the same thing as the original. It's going to be totally different. And so I have the option of playing chops or long tones or whatever. My partner Maurice might say, no, give me this instead of this, or we'll listen to several records to come up with the style. Coming up with the style. Let me explain this right quick. Coming up with the style of these records was like a competitive thing because a lot of European cats. I'm not even making this up, and I heard it from myself, and he pointed it out to me that a lot of European keyboard players started picking up on my style.
Oh.
And he says, listen to this record. He says, this is not you. He said, this is somebody else, but doesn't it sound? I said, sure it does. Listen to another record. So the records that we were putting out for these big artists had my signature sound, and these producers were taking it.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay. So what we did was we would listen to their stuff. There was a group back in the day called the Masonic Masons or something like that. Was a dance production team, the Masonics or something like that. We would listen to their style and take their stuff. And so we were everybody's back and forth taking everybody's stuff, but we had to be like the forerunners and hurry up and get stuff out as quickly as we could. That was very important. So we would get these remixes and we would do the piano, the drums would be laid out and the vocals would be laid out already. And then I would do the piano, of course, and then we'd bring in a guitar player, which I'd shout out my team, Keith Henderson, guitar, Ron Hall on bass. These cats were amazing musicians. And then we put it together and send it back to the company. Then we get a yay or a nay. Beyonce doesn't like it or she needs you to change this. We always be talking to the assistants mostly,
Right.
Then if it's a go, you get the money. Then they'll send the check over. Then I'm able to pay some bills or whatever. So the pay was cool. I didn't like it would have been different if I was just called in, like say for instance, Gary, if I called you to play keys, you wouldn't get as much as I would get.
Okay.
Like I would get $1,000 or so or more
right.
for playing teased for Beyonce when I could call you and say, "Well, Gary, we only paying you union. We're gonna give you $250." You know, now that's just how it works in the real world. But I was his house keyboard player, so of course I'm gonna get more.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So and the arrangement. So my favorite record with Beyonce is "Check on It." If you get a chance, listen to that remix on YouTube. It's a very driving record, very melodic, and also Ray J's "One Wish" is very melodic too.
Oh yeah, One Wish, yeah.
But like I say, the remix of that, you know.
Okay.
In some cases, the remixes would be, we have to call it, we take the vocals, and if the vocals go on the timeline and they don't line up with the track, so to speak, we have to time stretch it. And sometimes time stretching can cause your track to sound like Mickey Mouse or something.
Yeah.
If you time stretch it too much. So in some cases, Beyonce's voice was. So that's not going to work. So they'd have to call back to the company, Columbia, and say, "Hey, look, this is not working. I know you want this remix, but what can we do to make this work?" I remember one time, and I had already. They was trying to be cheap on the flights.
Okay.
So they flew my partner in with everything done. So and they flew a background vocalist out, and they sat there and she recorded live. They recorded the vocals all over, put the record out, and it became a big record. You know, I forgot which one it was, but we've done a lot of records where people sometimes have to record in their studios and send the stuff back. Or they fly out. One record I did in particular was I can't think of it. I'm sorry.
It's all right, my brother.
A Beautiful Liar by Shakira and Beyonce, and she didn't like what I was doing. She personally said no. She said no about 3 times. Every time that I would do something keyboard wise, because we didn't have to hire a bass player. Well, we did, but initially I was playing synth bass keys, and we would play the lines, and everything was perfect except she didn't like the drive of the bass. Hey, well, we don't like that. Can you send something else over? We do it again, different sound. You know, everything was just totally different. So that didn't work. So we had to call in. We called in a live bass player, I think, at the last minute because we was trying to save money, I think.
Sure.
And we wound up getting the parts down, and she said she likes it finally. So I was really, I mean, he was, and my partner was like really upset. He's like, "Man, we got to do this again," you know.
Right.
So we finally got it, and it worked out.
Man.
So that's what I mean. Some things work so quickly. Sometimes you can write something in a matter of minutes, and the next project, I guess you get overconfident. Next project takes days, sometimes months or whatever.
Yeah, but in terms of the Grammy, that kind of happened. Like I say, leaving my job, going to the studio, and like I said, you just turn the records, and you don't know what's going to get nominated. You don't know what record are they going to submit at that time, and at that particular year, "Crazy in Love" was a hot record. You know, the original was a hot record.
Yeah.
You know, written by the Shy-Lights mostly. You know, so after that, it was submitted, and they submitted the remix version of the record for Grammy status, and it won producer of remix producer of the year. That was my partner, and I was able to benefit from that. That's how, Gary. That's how I like to say I benefited from it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like I said earlier, I said the benefit was taking trips, doing Grammy camps.
Right.
And there's an organization called Music Cares that also assists with musicians. So those were some of the perks, being a part of the organization, which I'm a voting member. And I got a lot of emails for records. And I listened to half. I didn't listen to a lot of them, but it was a lot of records I received. Vote for my record. You know, so there are some slight perks and things, and they offer you discounts on rentals and all kinds of stuff. You know, I just want to get that.
Let me ask you this, Rob. How did you get into the film industry?
Oh wow! At that same studio I was telling you about, it was a loft. The loft was comprised of different producers in different rooms, a factory building, and one day my friends had a studio where they did music as well, but then they also were shooting a film. The film was called at the time Backstabbers. And I came in and I walked in the office because we were always in each other's offices all the time. And I said, "Oh man," I said, "what y'all doing?" They said, "Yeah, we edited this film." I said, "I bet y'all could put some music." I said, "I bet y'all could put some music to that." And it just hit me to say that. When I said it, he said, "For real?" He said, "Go get your keyboard." So I had to go to the other room, get my stuff, bring it in. And back in that time period, I didn't know anything about syncing music to a film. I would just play it and they put it in. But it's a lot more complex than that. Later found out. But
a lot of editors, a lot of editing.
Yeah, he kept what I played, and they liked it so much. He asked me, say, "Hey man, why don't you come on board and help finish the film?" I'm like, "Sure." So he gave me a VCR.
A VCR.
Yeah, he gave me a cassette. He gave me a VCR of the movie. They take this home, and he says, get your equipment and whatever you got to do, and work this out. And like I said, back in the day, I didn't know nothing about time code. I didn't know anything. I was just guerrilla doing it, And I got a book in there somewhere. I got some notes. It says, "When the man runs out and he says, 'shoot him,' start the music."
Yeah.
I got, and then wait, it was funny because I would turn these notes over to the producer, my partner Bill, and honestly speaking, he locked it in right there, right where I said it. That's where it was locked at.
Wow.
I was, this is amazing. So that's time that's funny now because I can look back at that and laugh because now I'm on a whole different plane now. We're playing field. I've tried different, we call them DAWs or DAWs. Well, so much as the analog ones where you have the Korg. I had a Korg 16 track. I had Alesis. I had a whole bunch of kinds of different modules to be able to record music into, and that's what I did. And in 2004, I got a computer, and that's what changed the game. I got Logic Pro. And then that changed the game for me because now I was able to lock the film to, to my DAW and be able to now play the instruments, against the music. And so that right there was a game changer. Yeah. But I knew it was more because I still didn't know. I still had to learn. So Saturday mornings, during the week, I would get up and just study. And to this day, I still call my friends and say, "Hey, look, what does this do? How does this work? I'm having issues in this area. I had some challenges scoring. I got a challenge right now scoring the film. The lady says it's not lining up. The director says the music is not lining up with the film. And I'm thinking, did she add anything extra? Because sometimes one frame will throw
everything off. Right.
I don't know if that's the case, but it's a little bit mind-boggling now. And I'm gonna work with her because I've learned in this business you have to be patient. So I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I'm a level head about saying when somebody comes to me and says it's not right. How do I fix it? How do I fix this area to get it right? But back to that one film right quick. That movie right now is on Tubi, but the name title has been changed. It's called Trust, Trust. And that's on Tubi, Tubi. It's a super low budget film that was
I saw it on Tubi.
The guy with the gold coat on. It was.
What's the name of it again?
It's Tubi.
Trust. It's on Tubi though, but it's
what's the name of the movie?
Trust.
That's okay.
But it's a very super low budget. Shot on an XL2. And I started learning about equipment and things like that way back in the day. But we were supposed to, it was Backstabbers at first, which I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
But it's from Backstabbers to Trust because they wanted to use the song Backstabbers from the OJs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, EMI Manhattan Publishing says, well, yeah, make the call. Well, the license is going to be $5,000. And Michael Jackson owns it. Well, how do we get around that? You can't. because we had no money back in the day like that,
Right.
Right.
So we wound up. I told them that I could do a remake of it, but they didn't want to do that, so they wound up going with a like a whole different angle, like a rap song in the beginning. So, like I said, it's grainy, very grainy, low budget, and some of those buildings are not even standing anymore in Chicago. Yeah, so
But I tell you,
that was it.
low budget movies have some of the best actors. I've watched a couple because friends were in it, and I saw some amazing actors. I told my friend, I said, yeah, it's low budget, but you and another guy there, brilliant actors. So I think that, that's why we can't, in any entertainment field, don't get too cocky, because there's always somebody around the corner who's just as talented, or even more maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a side note. I'm gonna say this to anybody listening and who will listen. For filmmakers that are, because I'm learning more about the business side of it. It's still taking a little time, but I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Tell them to, I would say, put your own stuff out. Don't wait for a Tubi. Don't wait for a Pluto. TV. Only reason why I say that is because when you hand over your rights to those people, they're making all the money with ads and sponsorships. You don't get nothing. And I was just talking to a guy in Sweden like a couple of weeks ago. He was like, you're not going to get paid. Well, I did get paid for one of the movies. It's called Death by Envy. You can look that up on Tubi as well.
I see it.
Yeah, Death by Envy. That's a pretty good independent low budget film. And he was telling me, he says, you're not going to get paid because the difference between, say, a BET and a Tubi is totally different. You're talking about both of them are streamers, but that's broadcast versus just natural streaming. And
yeah,
you don't make as much. So a lot of the movies that are on Tubi, I'm not going to see a whole lot of money, little to nothing. And that's unfortunate, but it's not my fault. I could choose not to do their movies, and like I can get paid off an independent film. But then when they put it out, they probably won't get half that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and it's a company, you probably seen the low logo Maverick Entertainment. That's been like the staple for African Americans that put out their films. And honestly, I have the opportunity now to say I don't like it. I don't like the fact that Maverick is taking advantage of independent filmmakers that spend $50,000, $60,000 on a film, because you've seen some B-list stars in these films. I'm sure you have on Maverick, but they pay out, like say for instance, they'll pay. We just used Omar Goody, and he got paid, pretty cool fee and everything. They actually shot the film, some of it here.
Okay.
And that movie comes out, I think, in March or April. I can't remember the name of it, but it'll be out pretty soon. And once again, Tubi will get it, and the people that's requesting this money, like myself and other people, will get theirs, and the filmmaker, he loses in the end. And this is because of this guy in Florida that's taking advantage of everybody. I don't care. I'm saying it because I think filmmakers need to understand that it's time to start stepping up and doing their own thing. Instead of relying on somebody who says, "Oh, your movie is great," and they know it's bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad content out here, and then they blowing smoke, and that's it. And it's not fair to hardworking people that spend $50,000, $60,000, and then you only getting back in return $12,000. That's not good.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not good at all. So I'm saying it, whether people hate me or whatever that's gonna listen or whatever. I'm saying it. I got a voice. Got a platform now. Good. You don't like it?
I appreciate you saying it, because it is unfair that whether it's in the movie industry, music industry, any entertainment, that the people who are the ones creating the intellectual property, they don't get to profit from it. It's like, I bought this property I'm living on, but I don't get to benefit from it. I might get to sleep in a little room in the corner, but somebody else gets to enjoy the rest of it. And it's so out of balance.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that. I had no idea it was like that for independent filmmakers. I'm no about independent artists in terms of music, but not filmmakers. So
It's really
Well,
bad.
you
Wow.
put it like this: all of them are losing money, are getting beat out of the money. Doesn't make a
Mhm.
difference.
And then just think this international sales. Now my international sales are probably like 1 penny.
Mm.
5 cents or something like that. But the domestic is much bigger on the royalty rate and everything, and the royalty rate just went up. So that's good for people like myself. But what does it do for the filmmaker? It puts them in a bind where people have to take care of themselves. So I'm glad the royalty rate went up.
Yeah, no doubt.
what is the filmmaker? What are some suggestions? What you have any ideas that could make it better for filmmakers?
Save money, raise money, go to what is that the little thing that you can raise money on, those little sites where you can raise money.
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe's, you could do that. You could do sell dinners, do whatever you can to put yourself out there to make some money. I saw somebody last night did a GoFundMe. Right now it's at $6,000. They're raising money for a film. Because at first I was like, oh, dang, I'm going to see if I can get on this film. But then I'm like, oh, they raising money. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll just stay here until they finish, until they actually get to that part. And then somebody say, well, they'll tag me on Facebook. It'd be like 9 tags. Get Rob Diggy, get Rob Diggy. I'm like, all these tags.
You got some money?
Yeah,
So how much money a filmmaker would need to do a decent movie? 50,000?
50 is good for independent. Yep. 50
That's
is
what I
good.
mean.
Yep, about 50, because you can get one of those Empire actors. Well, we use he's from Chicago. We got him in a couple of our films.
Mm-hmm.
You can get probably about. We did a film with Thelma from Good Times and Clifton Davis. But
Nice.
But the only thing that it was a 4-day shoot for her at $5,000. So you wind up getting us for 20. And then Clifton got 10.
Okay.
Now this is business sometimes that I'm not supposed to know, but the filmmaker, he and I were really cool, and he wanted me to learn some of the business. So he was talking about acquisitions and things like that, and saying, this is what she's asking for. The company wants this from us or whatever. So I'm learning more so about the business end, but with $50,000, that's some good money to be able to get at least 3 good actors. B-list and below, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you might have seen them on. You might can get Urkel, the guy that plays Jaleel White. You might can get him for 10 because he needs the money. He needs the money. So you gotta look at people, but like say 50 to 75 to 100,000. It's not a lot of money, but you could save it. Write your film and then find a platform that's going to be fair with you, or do it yourself on your own platform. Sell your own movies out the backseat of your car, like they do the CDs. Guys who do the tapes and stuff. They would sell the product out the back of their cars,
Right.
and come on top. So, and then turn that list into a company and say, hey, these are the numbers we've done. What can you give me? Now you can go to the table because you got a chip to bargain with. So I've been learning a little bit more about that, but my passion is sitting there at the front of this computer, chomping out songs.
Yeah.
So what genres do you write?
All kinds.
All kinds. So you could write country.
I could write country. I could write bar mitzvah music. Greek. You give it to me, I'll do it. And the reason why is because my computer holds world sound, so I can get any sound I want, and I can just go to it and go to YouTube and study the style. We did a Jewish movie, like I said, with the Clifton Davis thing, called My Family Barbecue 2. That's on Tubi as well.
I saw it. I saw it on your list. I thought that one should be a very interesting one. Is that the one that's spelled family PH?
PH.
That's the one, yeah. PHAMILY.
Yeah, that was a Jewish man wanted to marry a black Thelma's daughter or whatever, and there was some conflict with the Jewish side and the African American side, so they wanted a Jewish based theme.
Okay.
So I was able to. Clifton was able to sit me down, and we talked about how we would come up with that one Hala Nagila. Hava Nagila.
Yeah.
So he wanted me to kind of convert that into like a more hip hoppy type.
Okay.
Try like, and I
And
never
you
forgot
said
that.
no problem.
Oh, and I nailed it. Well,
I know you did.
I've done other films. You see on your IMDb, the Gandhi Murder.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big film for me. That was shot in Sri Lanka.
Oh, nice.
Some parts of India, and they had a budget of like 25 million.
Wow.
But the movie unfortunately only made about $22,000.
Oh.
Way below. And but my point to that was that score, they didn't want a Hindi score. It was the Gandhi Murder, but they didn't want us. They wanted American. They wanted American contemporary American score. I think I might have sent you a clip, Gary, of me directing live. That was from the Gandhi Murder. But it turns out that because I flew to Dubai to do this, and when I got there, he was like, "Well, yeah, we discussed the score and everything." He said, "Well, we don't want a Hindi. We don't want Hindi."
Oh.
I'm like, "Great."
I know, right?
Wow.
I was, I jumped for joy when he said that. Now, although now I could have done it,
Yeah.
and there's some elements of Hindi inside of this score. A lot. It's got some little sitars and things like that going on, some tablas or whatever. But the majority of the score is American. I did that, So I'm like, great. I don't have to worry about, fighting, trying to figure out this sound, or them bringing in live musicians on top of what I'm doing. So it all worked out, and I was very, very happy about that. In fact, I watched it the other day a little bit. Me and my mom watched a little bit of it. I think she's listening or watching. Hey, Mom. Turns out that I listened to the score because now I get these big studio speakers here. I'm like, oh, they did a good job. They really did this. I'm like marveling like at the score because the emotions of what was happening in the film matched the music, and music matched the emotions totally, hands down. So I was like, this is amazing. So sometimes I'm in awe of some of the things I do. I mean, a lot of things I do. I'm like, wow, this is really great. Really, really super great.
So the way I understand it, they give you the film and then you compose the music to fit the film. Is that what you're doing? Okay. Because I know sometimes, like Backstabbers, you have a film, but there's a song already out there, but in that they will pay licensing fees for. But in your case, what I'm hearing, that's a composer, and I think that takes a little more effort because you're writing based on somebody else's concept, what somebody else is doing, and trying to match that. To me, that's more challenging than writing your own music, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. What I like when directors send me all the cues from beginning to end, and I've tried to sneak that in with some directors. They don't get it. Like, if you just send me everything you want, like the idea, like say for instance, in scene 1, from 1 minute 05 to 1 minute 30, you want a piano roll sound and some strings, and you want it somber. So now I pretty much know what you want, or in the style of, and they'll give you the style. Okay. I had a director laid it out, like from beginning to end. I was able to shoot through the film because I knew what he wanted and I knew how to get it to him. So other films I have to kind of guess, but they say just go for it. I got a friend of mine that trusts me, like eyes closed, just do it. I got you. Just do it. You good. I'm like, bro, don't you want direction? Don't you?
Right.
I was sitting there like,
guess if somebody's running from the cops, what kind of music that has to be there as opposed to a love scene.
I get those, but then sometimes you don't want to overscore. You want it to be. Sometimes silence is good. You might have a chase scene and may not need any music until the guy gets shot at the end of the clip. Something like that. So it works that way. But I like to be dramatic. I'm a drama. I just like to. That was my major in college anyway. So.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask if you're an actor too. Okay.
No, but drama and communications was like my major, and I had to work with some elements in that time frame in those years. But Yeah, you just gotta just feel. It's a feel thing. It's a feel thing. You know when the lady picks up the letter to read and she's suffering from cancer, and if she's in her head reading, and you hear it. What are you gonna play? Are you gonna play some hip hop? Or are you gonna play some sad? Yeah, you gotta give us some sad. Make the audience feel what she's feeling. That's why I'm able to get a lot of work, because I can catch that emotion right away. Sometimes you have to be so slick and listening. What if she says it and then comes back and retracts and then goes into a comedic mood or something like that?
Right.
It's a timing thing, and I've mastered, not necessarily mastered it, but I get it to the point where I'm not questioning a lot about it. Every now and then somebody says, "Oh, pull it out. We good right there. You good?" I'm like, "Yes."
Hey,
That's less work I have to do.
No doubt.
Right.
I'm gonna take that cue and file it away and use it for something else.
Let's AG, let's go in and see some of the clips that Rob sent over to you.
There you go.
You didn't let me even. I still got questions and stuff to talk about. So, Ray, sit back, Ray. Yeah. So anyway, so how did you get the connection through BET for the series, the series over there? Because that's something.
Yeah,
pretty exciting.
Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. And I don't even look at, like, I got 2,000 some followers or whatever it is. It wasn't about the followers. And I tell people it's not about how many likes you get and all that good stuff. Fortunately, hopefully he sees this. I'll say it now, I'll give him his flowers. But Matthew Head was the composer for 3 seasons on the show. And he congratulated me in Clubhouse right before I think I had started already. And Matthew was saying that he was so happy that I got it. Whether, somebody else, but he said he was just happy that I was able to get the job. And because of, Instagram. The director, I guess when Matthew had to bail out because of P-Valley and Tom Swift, you heard of those series. And so he says, the director called my house. But see, I've gotten to the point where I know when it's business on my phone.
Yeah.
I know when it's a 213 or 818. Oh, that's money. I'm not making it up. I know if it's a 213 or 818, it's money or some kind of potential business clients or whatever. I already know. And when they said it, I think it was at 818, I think it was, or probably 213. But when it came up, I'm like, man, somebody, and they called on my other line. I got a Google line that I use for that.
Okay.
Just so folks don't have to bother me.
Yeah.
So he hung up. His name is Trey Haley. He's the director of the family. He hung up. And I said, no.
Can't have that.
I said, no, man. I don't know if you calling back or not. It was 818. I said, this 818 too? No way. So I called the number back. I was like, hey, somebody called for Rob. He said, yeah, I'm looking for Rob Diggy. He said, I'm Trey Haley from Tridestin Studios, and I'm the director of the family business, and we're looking for a composer. First off, are you busy? I'm like, I can swing it. and at that time, he didn't tell me how many episodes. He was just saying if I wasn't busy, and it was short. The guy was short. He was like, I'll tell you what, somebody will be calling you back. I'll call you back with somebody else on the line in a couple of days. Well, I have a good friend that's in that series, Carl Gilliard. Shout out to Carl Gilliard, who we did 2 Degrees. If you look find 2 Degrees with Carl Gilliard, you can look that up as well. Okay. That's a pretty cool series. It's funny.
Yeah.
And I have to explain it to you later. But wound up calling Carl, and he was at work. I said, hey, man, did you recommend me to Trey Haley of the family business? He's like, Rob, I wish I could take credit. He said, but it wasn't me. He said, but I'm glad you got it, And so Carl played the minister. I don't know if you've seen the series, but he's the minister on the show.
Right.
Older gentleman with the bow tie and everything, with the glasses. Very, very good friend. I met him years ago on MySpace.
Cool.
And it was funny because now we, I go to his house. He, when he's in Chicago with his mom, I go over there. He comes here, and worked on different projects together. So I've done like his theme song. So he trusts me a lot. But he said it wasn't me, Rob. I'm like, okay. So I call my friend Trisha Grant, who she's in the series. She played Dominique, real tall lady, real pretty lady. You probably seen her. I called her. I said, hey, did you put in a good word for me? Oh, she said, but I will. So she called me. She called Trey, and then they both called Trey actually, and gave good recommendations. And he says, hey man, your people called. Is this they looking out for you? He says, well, this is what we're gonna do. My showrunner call you. Oh, and let me segue right quick for showrunners. Anybody's listening, get familiar with your showrunners. Those are the people that kind of help make the decisions as well for these shows. I just started hearing that term like maybe a couple of years ago. And right now what they do is they pay you. They also facilitate the scheduling for the shows, and they communicate directly with the network to find out when the show can be aired and things like that. So that was a really cool thing. Her name is N.D. Brown. She's on Instagram on the N Nancy D. David Brown, and very helpful lady. She's a Delta. She went to FAMU, and we talked about that, and her and Trisha being sorority sisters. And she said, so you know a lot of people already in the show. I said, yes, I do. So the next day, I think it was like the next day or so, a couple of days later, we worked out the details, and that was funny. That's a whole nother subject. Because I took a screenshot of the check from check, and I sent it to my mother, but she had been talking about monies like somebody owed her some money or something, and so it was early in the morning.
I love it.
It was early in the morning. I was, she was like, somebody owed me some money. I was like, no, Mom. I said, look at it.
I'm glad she didn't take it to the bank.
Wait, she hung the ball. She hung up the ball. It was so funny. I didn't hear no more from her until like the next day.
Too funny. Oh my goodness.
Called everybody. Rob got the gig. So, and of course, that came with, folks like, hey, I heard you was on this show. I had a cousin block me.
Block you?
I'm just keeping it real. This is real. This is nothing. Not nobody. This is like no secret or nothing. I'm sorry. I've never been this animated on the doggone interview before, but it just things happen.
But how about you? I know you're writing. I'm still looking at your list of movies. I think you have, over 50 here.
But it's over 100.
Oh yeah. Previous. You're right. Over 100. You have a lot. Have you ever thought about? I know you majored in drama as well. How about get acting parts in some of these shows? Are you not interested in that?
No, I can't act my way out of a paper bag.
You can't. Come on.
I'm serious. I would mess up. I would want them saying, take, stop, take, do this again. No, I don't want to mess up nobody's money. But right quick with the family business, I wound up doing 10 episodes. And and I have to explain this to the audience because a lot of times they don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But I wound up losing one of the episodes.
Oh, really?
my computer crashed. Well, it didn't crash, but something happened. It just freaked out. And luckily for me, I had the WAV files. If you know what WAV files are, I had the WAVs. And I didn't have the session. That's the only thing. So I just loaded them back in and was able to keep working. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot from episodes, because I never did that many before.
Right.
I think many episodes I've done was like 4. But I did 10, and I didn't understand about the consistency of how to keep the show, consistent and everything. And I learned that on the fly with Trey. And Trey is a great director. He's hands-on, but he didn't bother me as much, which I liked. And sometimes I do like to, stay on me, But this cat, he says, he used the term finesse.
Okay. Finesse
the scene. He says finesse it and just be cool. He says, because there's gonna be some times when we don't need a lot, but it got easier after episode 4. And he told me, he says it's gonna get much easier and you're gonna work much faster. See, I thought them sending me the first episode was gonna be like, okay, I can do this in a week. And then the second one was gonna be done the next week. He was like, no, you gotta finish 2 episodes in a week.
Man.
Like, and my mouth kind of dropped, but I'm like, you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
So
you can do it.
And I started understanding.
I did.
I started understanding how important it was to keep the continuity of the show intact. Where I would send him the whole stem of the show for, like, say, episode 1. He would take episode 1 stem and chop it up, put it back on the timeline, send it back to me, and says, okay, rescore this, keeping the same elements, because all I did was take your music and chop it in different areas. Now just rescore it.
Okay.
So it was that much easier because I used the same sounds through the whole series. And a lot of stuff, it was a lot of new stuff. I was buying stuff on the fly. Like, I would go to the internet and say, "Ooh, I like that sound. Let me buy them. Let me buy." Like, might cost $200, $300. I would get it just so I could have the edge on another composer with the newest sounds, And I do that right now. I'm a sound freak. I love to have my sound. So then once I get that, he would say, okay, do that, and then do the next one. So it got much easier as I went on. So I saw myself doing an episode in a few hours because everything was laid out for me,
That's
Yeah.
So cool.
At least about maybe 8
That
hours.
is.
And that got much. So I was like, cool. So when we got to 10, I'm like, wow, I'm just about done. And that was it. If you listen to episode 10, I love episode 10 and 6 at the service. I can't say the word funeral. I always mess that word up.
Yeah, the service.
The service. Yeah, I should say the homegoing service for the girl. But it was very dynamic. I started incorporating live guitar.
Right.
Okay.
My guitar into what I was doing. And he, I don't know, I sent you the clip.
Yeah, you did. I'm going to play that here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
And at first, Trey didn't understand, like, how I was going to incorporate the guitar. But when he heard it, he was like, oh, yeah, keep it.
It was nice. You did a nice job.
But I know you want to go. I just have one more question. When you said that he chopped it up and sent it back to you and asked you to score it, are you giving a physical scoring of the chords and the notes, and how detailed is the scoring? Is it?
It was detailed, but what I sent him was, like, say for instance, a line. Say if it was Michael Jackson's "Beat It," and it was already done. All the music and things, it's all together on one stem. So I just listened to that and recreate it, but not. I'm recreating my own stuff, but just in a different way. So in that area, somebody's running, say, okay, we'll just change a few notes here or there and keep it moving.
But when he asks you to score it, is a manuscript scoring? Is that?
No. It's
Okay.
it's all, we just call it that in terms of just being able to write the music around the scene. But there's a program in my computer that gives you the actual notes.
Okay. So that's when I hear scoring, that's what I think, the notation.
Yeah,
not the chart, the chords, but the notation. But depending on what you're writing, a scoring can have a whole lot of instruments. But if you don't have to write it for an orchestra, then you don't have to be that detailed in scoring.
Well, with today's technology, they have a program on the computer built in, and all you do is click the button and your whole score comes up. Piano, the way you played it, the dynamics of it, all your dynamic markings, everything comes up just like a sheet of music. So then
Oh,
you're
you
able
have to tell me what that program is, because I physically transcribe. And you mean you just press the button and it transcribes everything in the song?
yeah.
Is that, you said it's built in the computer, or is it a separate software?
They have a separate software, but in my computer, in my DAW, you just tap the button and you can look at the score, but then print that out.
Yeah, I'd like to know what that is. You know how much time that saves? Even if you know how to do it, it's because I chart out horns for a tribute band for a horn section, and to write the trombone, the saxophones and all that. But if you can play the song and press a button and it finds it all, now I'm sure you have to do some cleaning up, right? How accurate is it?
Well, you know what? It's accurate to the point now, because I'm sure now it's better than what it was back in the day. So I know I had some challenges. When I was in Bulgaria, before I left, they wound up taking my score and taking the MIDI files. I think you know about that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Taking the MIDI files, I sent everything over to Bulgaria, and within a week before we got there, the score was written. All the scores were written. And he says, "Hey man, you made some. We're gonna make some changes right here. Is that okay?" I'm like, "No, fine." And I didn't even hear it. I didn't even, and then it was a accidental or something in the music.
Right.
So he just corrected, and it was fine. I didn't bother them. I let them do their thing, So I had a translator because they didn't speak a lot of English. So.
Right.
But no, that was pretty cool.
That's intense. People don't understand how intense it is to hear music and then transcribe all the parts and put it on a physical manuscript score. But if you can press a button, you can tell me your secret off the air, okay? That saves a ton of time. Because I know you know how to do it, because you play trombone and piano and everything. So you know how to do it. So it's not like a person doesn't know how to do it, but when you have to create the scoring for 2 series a week, you got to have that tool. And in a way, you don't care how much it costs.
Well, in electronic music, you have a deadline, so they expect you to have this stuff in. The turnaround time is very, very super fast, so you don't have time to write it out. So you just hit the button, and you don't even need the score. Like we explained, we don't need that, because they don't have time to look at a chart and say, "Oh, A flat is wrong." They don't have time for that. This is all done electronically. Now, if you want to spend some money and go and hire an orchestra to do the whole 10 episodes along with the electronic, that's on you. That's half of the budget.
Yeah, but instruments sound so much better now. Electronic instruments, especially strings.
You should hear my strings. Beautiful.
Yeah, strings. I mean, it's gotten to a point where I can't tell if they're fake strings. Like, you're a composer. One guy told me he gets a real violinist to play, and then he'll fill it in with electronic ones, and you really can't tell. So.
Yeah, it's.
So you said something about a clip or something?
Yeah. I'm gonna let our viewers see the one that the family business one that you sent us, which was it was impressive, because like I said, it shows your work, man, how you do, man, and it's just amazing.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you are amazing.
So we'll do that, and then we'll come back and continue. Ray, you still awake?
Oh yeah, I'm awake. I'm just waiting on the clip.
I'm just playing with you, man. Okay.
Nah, I'm awake.
All right, y'all stand by, and we'll be right back. Keep it locked right here.
My love is deeper than the sea.
you talking to? I get it. See, you hear them damn voices, don't you? They told me I was crazy. I know all them motherfuckers. Which one you talking to? You talking to? You talking to Daddy? You talking to Sasha? You talking to Lou? Huh? Well, where is he? Where's Lou? Point him out to me. I can feel him. Is he here?
He cried.
Yeah, actually, I was emotional too.
Ooh.
And the only reason why I was emotional was because actually, honestly, I was emotional too. Got it. And the only reason why I was emotional was because actually, honestly, I was emotional too. Got it. Got it. And the only reason why I was emotional.
Somebody need to turn there.
He cried.
Yeah, actually, delay. Yeah. Delay. By now. By now. I'm hearing an echo on that end.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we were all watching.
Somebody was. It was feeding off of somebody.
I didn't watch it. I was just listening.
Okay.
Okay.
But what I was gonna say was I was emotional because I thought about my brother who passed away a few years ago, but he inspired me a lot. And listening to that last little guitar thingy and having that emotional, connection with the family, and I had been with them for 3 months, with this family going through these, journeys of, drug dealings and whatever they went through, infidelities and all that. I was able to capture that last scene perfectly. But I noticed when I saw the episode on television, the music had been moved, and that really just struck a nerve with me.
Yeah.
It's the same music. It's just that he moved it because I had it going to the very end. He moved it back. So that was cool. It still worked. So on my version, I can still go back and just push it where I want to push it at. But on the studio version now, it was moved, but it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the music was perfect. And I love how the music, that's how it should be. I remember many years ago, I realized the music for movies, we should hear it more in our subconscious than our conscious. And the only way we'll know it's missing if they just stop it. Then you'll go, what's missing? I'm missing something. You know what I mean? And that's how it should come. And you did that because I actually got into the scine. I was like, okay, let me grab that tear before we come back on the air.
And a funny story right quick, because I know you guys want to rap soon. When I got a call from the director, Trey, when we were working and the homegoing scene. I'll say the homegoing scene.
Okay.
Oh, I get it.
I can't say the word. I can't say that F word. I don't know how to pronounce it. I mess it up. So it turns out that he says, "Hey man, he said, get your tissue ready. He said, this is gonna be a ride." He said, "I'm not even joking." And so I'm watching the scene, and next thing you know, you see both sides. And then I called him, and he was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm laughing hysterically, but his tears coming down my eyes. And Carl Weber was in the background going, "Is he crying?" it was the funniest thing because he's laughing on the other end. I'm laughing and tears coming down. He said, "I told you. What I tell you? What I tell you?" He said, "The ratings gonna go through the roof," and the ratings did go through the roof.
Ooh, I bet.
Because of that particular scene. This girl, they had to kill her off because she went back with Tyler Perry. She's on Sisters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow, it was great though. I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed that. The music, the acting. Of course, there's some veteran actors in those that I recognize. At least 4 or 5 of them. I'm like,
Yes.
I remember him. I remember him. Some that have been in the business for a very long time.
Lisa Ray and
Yeah.
Ernie.
Ernie and Stan.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what was the boy that? He was a boxer who looked. He's
That's Stan. Stan Shaw.
Yeah.
Stan Shaw. Yeah. I texted him last night. We working on something now with his son because his son is in the series too. So
Okay.
we on something. So we good. We getting it.
Mm-hmm. Boy,
And, you know, another thing I noticed is that you're in pre-production for several more projects. I don't know if there's TV series AGO.
Ago.
In pre-production. Ago. Okay.
That's-
I think it was acronym or what. Mhm.
Yeah, that's over in Spain.
Oh, okay.
By way of Dubai.
Oh,
It's
okay.
still in pre-production mode. But they're moving forward with another project which they haven't put up on IMDb yet, called RAK, R-A-K. Which
Okay.
stands for Russell Common, which is a resort in Dubai. Excuse me.
Okay.
And they're putting it, and I did the theme song for it already. So it's an animation, and I don't know how long that's gonna take, but I'm waiting on that.
Okay. It's not on the list. You got Blood Money on the list in pre-production.
The Blood Money is they're raising funds.
Okay.
Right, raising
Okay.
money. Yeah.
Okay, and so and what is the Dubai connection thing again? Because I
Mhm.
noticed there was
That's
you
it.
actually had a video. I mean, a YouTube video that's just music, but it has a picture of you dressed in the garment.
That was the picture was the song. Not just put the picture. The picture was shot in Bulgaria
Okay.
Okay.
because when we did the Gandhi movie, my connection to Dubai is my Indian contacts.
Okay.
In Dubai, and they have now opened up a resort with some of the monies that they got money. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just heard they paid Beyonce. Somebody in Dubai paid Beyonce $50-something million
yeah,
to perform. That's her.
hotel over there. But yeah, I've been in close contact with my friends over there. And I'm waiting on a call or text so I can find out if I'm going to get my apartment back.
In Dubai?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Instead of having to pay for a hotel,
Right.
just stay at the hotel. I mean, at this apartment, and nobody, if it's not occupied, then I can stay there. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting on the yes or no because I'll leave tomorrow.
Nice. Well, that's exciting.
Very.
Well, Mac, I know you have a question. Go ahead.
No, you pretty much answered. I'm listening to what he had to say about. I want to know about how he really got up into the film, scoring the films and different things.
Yeah,
like that.
that was
But
interesting.
yeah, man.
Thank you.
So you leaving for to buy tomorrow, huh?
I would leave if they called and said my apartment is ready. Yeah.
How long you gonna be over there once you go?
2.5 weeks.
Oh shit, they ain't.
I'm scheduled to leave April 17th.
Okay.
So I'm
So
waiting.
if you're composing in Dubai, they're gonna have a studio for you as well.
My studio travels with me,
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
and then I take.
You're gonna be over there for a minute, because I'm getting ready to go. I'm leaving this next Sunday. I'm going to Tanzania.
Nice.
And I'm thinking about just, I know I'm going into South Africa, and I know I'm gonna go to Dubai too, because I got some friends that's over in Dubai.
Let me know. Send me an email because I do have some friends in terms of entertainment. Go to listen to some live music, and we've been really close on Instagram. And after 5 weeks of playing with these cats, man, they're so cool. These cats.
Nice.
Yeah, like I was telling Joyce, if she get over there, they pay very well. You can be over there 2 months. 2 months, everything tax free.
Yeah, yeah. I just use my own credit card because their money is pretty expensive, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
like a bag of chips, if it's $1.50 for a bag of chips here, they charge you $5.50 over there for it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's expensive.
So,
Wow.
my own money, you know.
Okay. Well, you definitely, I appreciate what you've done. You travel, you go to other countries, you're just free to move.
Yeah.
But I have a question. You mentioned something about when you're talking about your family and the training and your parents. I think a father was doo-wop group. He said, I thought it was interesting. He said, I wrote it down. I don't need vibrato. I need straight singing. And I've heard that before, because when you're singing with several people, you don't want everybody's vibrato going. Can you sing? And there is, explain that. There is a different technique just to hold a soft note. Do you think that's a lot harder than people think?
A lot of people don't understand the technique. That's what it is. So if these newer singers, they don't know about the verse. Some of them do, some of them don't, but they don't understand like the term. So they say less vibrato. Like, what's that?
Okay.
What's that? What did you just say? What did you say? So, if my father had to come in and do a session, and he's from the old school, he would give me more bumpy. I don't want that. Just give it to me live instead of and that's how he sang. So I wouldn't want the vibrato, especially on this new stuff. Just give it to me straight. Because I'm gonna need 8 parts of that same la.
Right.
I'm gonna need 8 parts of that. And if you're giving it to me, and if one is vibrato, I'm gonna hear it. I said, "No, we can't use this one. We gotta do it over." Or until it's done right. So most of my singers I work with, they get it. They get it.
Right.
It's the new ones that don't really understand the business part side of it and singing. They'll be all over the place. And then when you listen to the parts back, you're like, wait, you missed in this area. Number 3 is wrong, or number 4 is wrong. They don't get it.
Right. I mean, I think it's just harder than some people think when you have multiple instruments or multiple voices singing at one time, because perfect pitch really is impossible. You're just trying to stay as close as possible so the human ear is not going to hear it. But if you're not paying attention, I mean, in a small church, I just helped for a small, it was just about 10 people, and singing hard and loud. I said, okay, can we stand in a circle? And now listen to your left and listen to your right. What we're working on is blending, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And so just like you said, just something simple, blending. You don't, because if you, sometimes they were singing so forcefully, they didn't realize they were flat.
Yeah, I get
that. And I think the only way I tell people to be able to see where you are is to record yourself and listen to yourself. Listen to you coming at you, and you'd be amazed what you hear. That's what I had to do, whether it was on my horn or singing, record and listen to it and go, how did I not know that was flat? Me too.
I'm like that.
So, but
thank you.
So I like how Gary said at the beginning, very interested in knowing how you got in the business. I'm just trying to summarize. It sounds like you had no fear of diving in and taking on any challenge, getting to know people, networking. And I think that's the way to do it, because if they don't know who you are, in other words, it's more than just posting something on social media. You went beyond that.
Yes, ma'am.
So what would you say? Because we have some producers, Gary Fuston example is one. And I don't know if David McLaurin is there, and several people watch the show. They're amazing. So how do they start networking? Where do they start? Well, with you, I guess.
well, I mean, first off, like, I know you mentioned some people, but the thing of it is that you have to, like you say, jump out. You have to jump. You have to just jump out there. I know when I was started composing, I didn't want to do R&B music. I mean, I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to be known for just doing the track, or as the kids say, a beat. You know?
Okay.
I wanted to be known. And had I not walked into that guy's room, I don't know what my life would be like, because I was still making, as they say, beats and tracks. I didn't want to do that. And then people say, well, you're a beat maker. No, I'm not a beat maker. I'm an arranger. I'm a composer. You know? I'm not just going to sit at the keyboard and just tap something in and say, I got a song. So you have to really be aggressive, assertive, to the point where, you're making a statement. And so with me, all my friends around me, all they did was just beat make and play and write tracks. I'm like, I can do something different. Nobody's scoring, and all this whole big old loft, it's a whole floor of musicians, cold musicians. I mean, people that play with Ramsey Lewis and B.B. King and everybody, but nobody scores a film. Nobody's scoring. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I can do on my end differently than what they're doing. And I'm gonna tell you, the confirmation was, and I have to shout out, I haven't seen this cat in years, Mike Dunn. Mike Dunn is you've heard of the Chosen Few DJs out of Chicago?
No, I don't think I have.
They're very well known. They went to the White House to play for Obama. That's how he loves house music. And Mike Dunn named me Rob Diggy. But my point to saying that was that one day, because everybody's studio was open, you could just walk in, hey, what's going on? What y'all doing over here? Like that. So Mike walked in and heard some tracks that were playing. It was score music, all score music. And he says, what y'all watching? He said, and my friend Mark was like, oh, that's Rob's score stuff. He said, oh, okay. Right then, I knew that was something special. When he said, what y'all watching? I said, nope, not watching it.
That told it. Right, that told it right there.
Wow, you got to be joking. So, hats off to Mike Dunn for naming me Rob Diggy and everything. So,
yes, Robert.
Oh, Lord, please don't do that. I hate it. Somebody online calling me Robert.
No, you're Robert Morrison.
Oh, come on. Don't say that, please. I hate it. I mean, no, I'm going to tell you something now. It worked when I once again, I was in Dubai and we were doing the film. And so I says, well, on my credits, don't put Rob Diggy. This is bigger than Rob Diggy now, because I'm dealing with some folks that's gone, I'm at the table with some executives that are big, huge people. Where's Rob Diggy? No, I'm Robert Morrison now.
I know.
Now I'm Robert Morrison,
Yeah.
So all the press that came out, it was Rob Diggy. Even when we did this big press thing at the Dubai Film Festival, it read Robert. I think you got that, Gary. It was like a little white piece of paper.
Okay.
I might have sent that to you. It said Robert Morrison on the little little nameplate, because I didn't want to be Rob Diggy over there. I mean, I was. And they named me Diggy Dubai over there too. Diggy Dubai, huh? I'm Diggy Dubai over there, So they get it, So, but when I'm doing my ghetto stuff, I'm Rob Diggy. When I'm doing my pro stuff, I'm Rob Morrison. Like you see on the Family Business, it says Rob Morrison, and I didn't want that. I wanted Rob Diggy Morrison on that, but. I couldn't get to him quick enough to change it.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Just go diggy with it. That's
so the diggy that you got, because you be digging right after, right?
Oh God, geez, I've heard that before. I just say what now?
I said you digging right after. You digging.
I'm digging. I'm digging.
Well, it's like a shovel.
I guess if you want to say it, I'm digging.
Digging.
but it works for me. Okay. My mom hates it. She hates the name Diggy, but I think now she kind of gets it. Like, okay, all this press he's getting, he's Rob Diggy on a lot of this stuff, so I'll go with it.
Hey, when they send you a fat check, you can call me Diggy if you want to.
But of course, it has to be Robert Morrison on the check, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
But they can call me Diggy. But when I get my Oscar, it's gonna say Rob Diggy Morrison.
Okay.
Oscar don't have. I have to put that on there. And
I think that's how Gary put it out there. Rob Diggy Morrison. I think.
I gotta go with Diggy. Right quick, I'm gonna tell you this right quick before y'all go. I'm working on a project out in LA. Diane Watson, who was a like congresswoman / political figure. And you heard of her?
Yeah.
No.
I have.
Yeah.
Diane Watson, she's older now. She's like 80 something. And we're doing we're doing her documentary right now.
Oh, nice.
See, now for that project, I'm gonna be Rob Morrison.
I got you.
Only because when they do this screening in LA, you know, there's gonna be a lot of dignitaries. There's gonna be some high profile characters there.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk in as Rob Diggy. I'm gonna be Robert Morrison all day. You know.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. And by the way, Howard Hewitt is writing the lyrics to the theme, and I've completed the music already. We chatted the other day, so he's diligently working because he says he doesn't have a lot of time because he's going back on the road. So he says he wants to have it over to me possibly this week. I said, well, just send me the vocals. I'll do the rest, you know, and he agreed. So we're waiting on that now. So that can be dropped into the film.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Nice.
Cool, man.
I think I need to come in and produce you, huh?
Produce? What are you producing? Drama?
Rob Diggy?
I'm going to produce you. I'm good. I'm going to make you a star with some auto-tune and we good.
There you go.
We can definitely do it, Rob.
I got auto-tune over here. I'm going to put you on. Make you a hit. You never know. You'll be a star overnight.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was telling G. I said, shoot, you know, we get ready to do I'm going to do maybe a 30-minute, maybe an hour show and everything. And so I'm going to do some drops and stuff like that. But I got this very sensitive mic. I got to find out what's going on with this mic. It makes me sound like Barry White.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. I like that because I do that too. You
yeah.
Know? Yep, let me know. Let me know what you need. I got you.
You got it, baby?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Shoot. I'm serious.
Yeah. Barry White sound like Scary White to me. What you doing?
Hey, shoot.
Just let me know. We good.
With that Barry White voice, boy, look at that. That's catching a lot of females, you know. Like I always say, I got plenty of conversation, but I ain't got no game.
Same like me. Show you.
I like that.
Cool.
Well, Rob, it's been such a pleasure, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a lot going on in your past and a lot to come. Great career.
Yes, ma'am.
And I look forward to seeing you on that $100 million movie.
Yes. Oh yeah, of course I do too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You definitely you have the skill.
I have it all.
You have everything. You have the experience. You have the skill. You have everything.
You know, the good thing about it is keeping God first. I didn't mention that at all earlier.
Oh yeah,
keeping God first,
Amen.
but also being able to continue to be and not waver. In other words, you know. But knowing that he's got me, and I haven't worked my job in like 4 years, and I just lean on that. So, like I said, I get calls pretty much every other day.
That is beautiful.
Yes,
I love hearing that. I love hearing success stories. Actually, other people's success encourages me because you're telling me it can be done.
It can be done. All
day.
All you have to do is just get out there and just do it. You know,
do it.
Don't worry about anything else. You just do you and do it right. You be out there.
What do I say, Gary? Create your own lane.
Yep, gotta create your own. That's
listen to Steve Harvey's Jump. That was it for me when Steve Harvey did that thing called Jump.
Oh
yeah.
Unbelievable. I was done. I was like, I got this. I can do this.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I'm listening to it. It's brilliant. You're doing some brilliant work.
You are.
I appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to be looking out for you. I'm going to be a little fan now.
Well, I'm on Instagram under Rob Diggy.
Okay. I'll be looking for you, okay?
Yeah, that's why I make most of my big contacts are on Instagram under Rob Diggy or Composer, the number 4, Films with a Z. FILMZ instead of S. It's films.
What's that again? Composer what?
The number 4.
The number
All
4.
the word. Films with a Z. FILMZ.
Oh.
Instead of S.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I'm there. And then of course you can Google, I have another article coming out probably next week. They did email me, said it's on its way. It's called From Screen Magazine.
I just read that one. Is that the one you sent us, Gary?
No, I think the one I sent was from. Well, there was. Yeah, it was 2 publications.
It was a question answer thing, interview that
Yeah,
I read.
Yeah, but the Screen Magazine is a local Chicago-based.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be out next week. So that should be pretty cool too.
And you love Chicago, right?
Yeah, I do, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go get some warm weather in.
Boy, I'm talking about it earlier, boy. He said, "Man, it's hot." I said, "Boy, you sweating like a heat."
You know what? I'm good now. I'm good. So
I see you to cool down.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah. I know the feeling, baby boy.
Okay.
All right, G.
All right, Rob.
You want me to give a shout out to the guests, okay? I mean, not the guests, the chat.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, great. Okay. I just want to give a shout out to the people in the chat room. And for those of you who are listening outside the chat, we appreciate you being here too. But a shout out to Henry Mixon, Gia Hyatt, Colleen, right, Matt? Colleen Keithley. And of course, Desiree Benson. Thank you.
Hey, Desiree.
Yes. Marilyn Ford. And we also had K Ward Radio in the house. Jazzy, thanks for coming out today. And also thanks for sitting in for me a few weeks ago. Jessica Single from Africa, thank you for coming back today. And my brother LG Williams, gospel singer, it was in the house or is in the house. Thank you for being here. Okay. ASJA Sims. Asja Sims. I think you're ASJA. Thanks for being here today. And Lavette Cherry, thank you for being here today. Heidi Tran, I haven't seen you in a minute, lady. Thanks for being here today as well in the chat. And of course, one of my favorite trumpet players, Clarence, or CTK, in the house as well. Thanks for being here. And again, thanks everybody who are listening, but you're not in the chat. That's cool, but the chat is fun. So join in next time. If you haven't already, if you like what you heard today, click thumbs up and also subscribe and invite other people to subscribe to enjoy this platform that Gary Fuston has created. All right, I am done. I'm just going to say my exit. Thank you, Rob. I really, really, really enjoy hearing what you had to say today. Everything from the beginning to the end. And I wish you, God bless you with more than what you could ever ask or think.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, amen. Robert Morrison.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry. I started that.
Well, I was going to end with it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I started it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay.
I can't do it no more. I quit.
Well, your mama will be proud of me.
She probably
also me because I call you Robert.
Oh, Lord, please don't say that.
That's all right. Just call him Edward. Edward.
Oh my goodness.
Cool with it.
You're making them cringe.
Let's say Rob. I'm good with it.
You
You think I got to go to the front? You know how many times I've been in the principal's office at my school, being an educator? Robert Morrison, please report to the main office. And I know it's something wrong when they call my name, So yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Dubai Diggy.
Diggy Dubai.
Diggy, goodbye. Hey, man, hey, it was our
All
pleasure.
right, Mac Daddy.
Oh, I'm
I
cool.
know we're trying to get out of here. I'm
cool
sorry,
with-
G.
Hey, man, but it's our pleasure having you on the show with us this afternoon.
Yes, it was very nice.
It's been a pleasure. I'm telling you, a lot of information that you put out there.
Yes, sir.
Just hope some of the people that's in the chat room, you know, the artists themselves, hey, all this information come to you. You need to start trying to use. You need to not try to. You need to start utilizing.
Yeah, of course.
And some people pay for what he gave you today.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Definitely.
And look at, and it doesn't make sense. Don't be scared.
Scared.
Don't be scared.
There you go.
Don't be that now. But you know, like I said, you know, I understand that, you know, you still got bills, you still got to eat and stuff like that. But I tell you, boy, if it start coming in 10-4, shit, you ain't gonna even think about that job no more. You know, you paying bills.
Yep.
But, huh?
That's right.
That's right. But the only thing I got to say, family, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you. Actually, we do have a scheduled show for Tuesday night, and yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and it's going to be 7 p.m. Central, and it's going to be featuring the R&B singer Beth, and you don't want to miss that. It's going to be fantastic. But with that said, again, thank you, Rob. We really, really appreciate you, man. And you keep doing your great thing, and we'll be looking for your credits out there.
Oh yeah.
No
doubt.
I'll be following you on Instagram so I can keep up with you.
Okay.
So don't forget, the GHP radio is 24/7. So we be.
Oh, that's right, Ray. Thanks for reminding them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys tune in 24/7. Your music is being played on rotation.
Yes.
Oh, I like my little radio drop or ad, whatever promo. Cool.
All right, everybody. Y'all have a great
All
weekend.
right.
We'll see you next week. Keep it locked.
See you next week. Thank you.
See you later. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.